interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important information will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. The station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is Central 52. We will continue to serve the Central City area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Central City area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in a sign. This is a national alert. The cities of Metropolis, Delaware, and National City, California have been destroyed. At precisely 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, nuclear devices located within Metropolis and National City detonated, obliterating both cities from within. As there were no missiles present in either area prior to the explosions, it is assumed the atomic devices were already situated within the cities and were set to go off simultaneously. At this time, all residents within a 200-mile radius of these areas should seek a fallout shelter. Fallout is a product of nuclear attacks. Prolonged exposure to fallout will result in certain death. If there is a nearby location that is designated as a fallout shelter, go there now, otherwise seek shelter in the interior part of a strong building on the lowest floor. Make sure you have food, water, and a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. Do not exit the fallout shelter until the all-clear has been given. Major cities whose residents need to take shelter immediately include Gotham City, New York City, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Monument Point, Philadelphia, Fresno, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, Coast City, Sacramento, and Las Vegas. For the remainder of the nation, please stay alert and stay tuned for further updates. This message will repeat in areas where shelter from the radiation is necessary.
This is an emergency action update. The Justice League and Justice Society have issued the following: Metropolis and National City each had a yield of approximately 5 megatons, but the bombs also appear to have been laced with kryptonite, effectively turning them into cryptomic bombs. There can be no doubt those two cities were chosen because they are the homes of Superman and Supergirl. Additionally, the Justice League was able to confirm that Superman was in Metropolis at the time of the explosion, while the Teen Titans confirmed Supergirl was in National City at the same time. Given the effectiveness of the cryptomic detonation, it is believed that both Superman and Supergirl are among the dead, as well as Booster Gold and the Martian Manhunter. This is a sad day for Hunter. This is a sad day for the entire world. Please be assured that the Justice League, Justice Society and Teen Titans will not rest until the person or persons responsible for this catastrophe have been brought to justice.
This is a coastal flood emergency for all oceanic coasts across the world. Scientists at the Amundsen South Pole Station in Antarctica are reporting that the temperature 2 feet above the ice has inexplicably risen to 183 degrees Fahrenheit, 84 degrees Celsius. 6 feet above the ice, the temperature is still at minus 40 degrees, normal for this time of year. Satellite scans of Antarctica suggest this phenomenon is happening over the entire continent. Should this continue, the entire Antarctic ice cap will melt into the oceans in less than 48 hours, raising the ocean levels across the world by 200 feet, or 61 meters. Everyone living in areas less than 200 feet below sea level need to evacuate to higher ground now. Evacuation shelters are being set up by local authorities. Locations of the shelters will be announced over local news media outlets. Residents are being asked to bring their own supplies, and to proceed in an orderly manner. All interstates in affected areas will be converted to contraflow mode. Those in fallout shelters remain where you are. A group of superheroes will be coming to evacuate you while protecting you from emission. Meanwhile, another superhero group will try to bring Antarctica's temperature back to normal before all of the ice has melted. Please stay tuned for further updates. This is an update on the situation in Antarctica. The drastic temperature inversion has generated lightning. Attempting to refreeze the melt was struck by a bolt of lightning and vaporized. All attempts to reduce the temperature at the surface have failed. However, satellite thermal scans are showing that, in areas where all the ice has melted and the ground is revealed, the temperature not only at the surface but hundreds of feet above are settling within the 60 to 70 degree range Fahrenheit. Suggesting that once all the ice has melted, the continent will not refreeze. Scientists still have no rational explanation of what is happening in Antarctica, and suggest what is happening may not be science-related at all. So far, ocean levels have risen 90 feet. Most of Florida is completely underwater. Evacuations of the areas surrounding the atomic bomb sites are 80% complete. This is an emergency action update. At 6:54 p.m. skies all over the world turned to whether it is daytime or nighttime. The sky is the same red color. In cloudy areas, the clouds are red as well. The Justice League, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and a few supervillains who also want to stop what has been happening to the world have banded together into the Justice Force and are currently investigating the situation.
This is an update on the red skies, according to the following release by the Justice Force. We have been visited by a hero from another Earth code named Citizen Cold. He claims to be the last survivor of his world, and came to our Earth to warn us of what is happening. One day 5 years ago, the skies on his world turned the same shade of red. Nobody realized the truth at the time, because his Earth was one where the Nazis won World War II, subjugated the planet. They claimed the red skies as their doing. It wasn't until the Nazis were overthrown and the resistance had the opportunity to look through their records that it was discovered the Nazis had nothing to do with the Red Skies. According to records, an extraterrestrial materialized in central Berlin, resisted all forms of attack, then opened a giant book which he was holding, at which point the skies turned red. He then disappeared. A week ago, during an attempt by the New World leaders to figure out a way to reverse the red skies, he reappeared before the leaders, including Citizen Cold. Once again holding that large book, he said that, unlike the Elseworlds, he let the world deal with the red skies to see if the Nazis were powerful enough to unlock the secret within the red and obliterate their enemies. Not only did they not even make the attempt, they were defeated by others who also did not discover the secret. He then said, quote, "You have all failed your world. I will try again on another. Unquote. He opened his book and disappeared. A few seconds later they received word that a wall of white appeared at the antipod to their current location and was spreading across the planet at amazing speed. Satellite views showed that anything the wall touched was disintegrated completely. Behind the wall there was nothing. Not even a molecule of the Earth's molten core. It was concluded that the wall was composed of antimatter, and there was no way to stop it. 10 minutes after it appeared, the wall had reached the other side of the planet, destroying that Earth. Citizen Cold was able to find a device given to him by those who helped end his planet's Nazi regime, which breaches the barrier between universes, and came to this Earth with literally seconds to spare. Teen Titans member Raven was not only able to psychically confirm everything Citizen Cold said was true, she also received a vision of the alien, who told her that humanity has only 2 chances remaining to prove itself. She could also sense the book he is holding is called the Book of Destiny. According to folklore, the Book of Destiny allowed its readers to read the past, present and future of all of existence, and in the right hands had the power to rewrite reality. If this is that same book, humanity must obtain it. If we do, we may be able to reverse everything that has happened, including undoing the deaths of 2 billion people since bombs were detonated. Stay tuned for more info.
This is an emergency action update. Every satellite orbiting the Earth that was not in equatorial geosynchronous orbit is falling towards the Earth. Additionally, the atmosphere has reduced in height. Up to 20 feet from the surface the atmosphere is normal, but by 30 feet it is gone. Any body over 30 feet from the ground has therefore suffocated. Airplanes can no longer remain in the air and are also crashing to the ground. Several members of the Justice Force were at altitude when the change occurred and have died due to lack of air. These include Firestorm, Starfire, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Wonder Girl. Additionally, President McGee was aboard Air Force One at the time and is now also deceased. Not having a large atmosphere to fall through means the satellites cannot burn up and reduce its size before crashing, nor will the falling satellites or planes slow down, meaning the damage when they crash will be much greater. The International Space Station has already destroyed Vienna, Austria. Warning sirens will no longer function, as they are located above the 30-foot mark and therefore are now in a vacuum. Take whatever cover you can, although against someone who has the ability to alter the laws of physics, cover may not help anymore. This is an emergency action update. The death toll is now estimated to be over 6 billion. Appear to have been left in orbit so that we may be able to see what is going on. The alien has been found at the South Pole. The remaining heroes, as well as several villains willing to assist, are converging in Antarctica for what is likely the final battle.
This is an emergency action update. The heroes have lost. At 7:59 p.m. satellites picked up the antimatter wall spreading out from the South Pole at amazing speed. It will take just 10 minutes for the wall to converge at the North Pole, at which point everyone and everything on Earth will be dead. Spend these final minutes praying to whatever God you believe in. This concludes operations under the emergency alert system. Goodbye. Operations under the emergency alert system. Goodbye.